Car accident took the life of a St. Helens sophomore back in 2004.
But now, 10 years later, she lives on because of a conversation she had with her dad just a few months before she died. Our Sally Showman has her story.
There are some conversations in life you'll never forget.
If you have strength and character, you're going to be able to walk through it.
At the time, those conversations can seem like any other. Looking back, they're treasured gifts.
God was in the midst of that, and that He was sort of setting me up, preparing my heart, preparing my mind for the unthinkable. She came into my office one evening and she said, "Dad, I'm working on a report and I need to interview 3 people. Can I interview you?" And I said, "Sure, baby."
It was Carrie Nance's sophomore year in high school. During the interview, her dad Scott told Carrie about his mother, her grandmother, who donated her corneas, and how he received a letter from a young mother who now sees through his mother's eyes.
She wrote, "But words cannot express the feelings and emotions that went through my body when the doctors pulled the patch off and I could see my babies, my children, for the very first time." And you know, when I got that letter, I became a believer in organ and tissue donation.
Carrie did too, and she got an A+ on the project.
She said, "You know, Daddy, I hope when I die, I can be that kind of a hero. I hope that when I die, I can be a donor, that I can give someone else a second chance at life." And you just don't think that, you know, in less than 6 months later, you're going to be making that choice, making that decision.
The call came August 2nd, 2004.
He said, "Your family's been in a car accident. My 19-year-old son, Sean, had lost control of our family Suburban, and he flipped it doing 80 miles an hour. And somehow in that tussle, Carrie was ejected from the car. She hit her head. Once Tina was out, she saw Carrie, you know, laying in the weeds. Sorry.
The family was on a road trip in Colorado. Scott was just getting home from a work trip in Portland. By the time he got to Denver, the news was not good. Carrie's brain wasn't receiving blood.
And Carrie was a daddy's girl. Her email address was Daddy's Purple Girl.
They were incredibly close. Some of their best times were on his Harley. They'd ride the back roads. It's there they developed a special signal.
If I was doing something that she didn't like, she'd just scratch me.
Just minutes before the crash, Carrie bought her dad this pig. Back in the hospital room, things weren't so black and white for Scott. Even though he knew Carrie's wishes about organ donation, it was too much to handle.
I don't know why, but I freaked out. I lost it. The thought of them, the doctors, touching her anymore, hurting her anymore, doing anything else to her, I just wigged out. I mean, I really just totally lost it. And I started yelling.
In that moment, he couldn't stomach the thought of organ donation.
I was wigging out in that room. And she scratched me. I had to turn around to look, to see that it wasn't really her, because I felt it that much. I mean, I felt it. It wasn't like, you know, the thought of it. It was, she scratched me on the back. I felt it, just like if we were on the bike.
He listened. Carrie was a gift to her family for 16 years. That day, she became the greatest gift to 6 people who received everything from tissue to kidneys.
Carrie got to be a donor, and she got to give that gift.
Nowadays, Carrie is with Scott every time he takes his Harley out.
Carrie's email address was Daddy's Purple Girl. At the funeral, somebody said, now she's Daddy's Purple Angel.
An angel to not only her dad, but to everyone she saved. Sally Showman, KOIN 6 News.
And Scott volunteers with Donate Life Northwest, telling Carrie's story to local school kids, encouraging them to talk to their parents about their wishes. Now, Wednesday morning, Sally Showman will MC Donate Life's annual Lifesavers Breakfast. Scott is the keynote speaker. For more information on that breakfast and the whole program, go to KOIN.com.
What a great story.